Good evening, Blue Nation. Welcome back to another episode of the Andy's Man Club Mersey Blue podcast. So today we are doing a transfer deadline day review. With me, as always, and returning for this one, my co-host Carl. How are you, lad?
I'm great, thank you, mate. Bit of a damp squid yesterday, but other than that, generally, I think what we're going to talk about is the transfer window is a success on that whole.
Absolutely, mate. Okay, and we have Mark via the magic of WhatsApp soundbite. Mark is in Los Angeles at the minute for work, so he sent a little soundbite through for us. So I'm going to introduce him virtually. How are you, Mark?
Hey, good morning, boys, from the City of Angels. Before we get going, I want to give a special shout out to one of my new groups that I've been fortunate enough to be a part of while we follow our club and spread the pod. The Southern Californian Evertonians have welcomed me with open arms, and I'm delighted to inform you that they are a dedicated and fantastic group. In our little corner over here, deep in the Western Hemisphere, it's, as you know, a cesspool of telly-clapping Manx of both types, red shites, Chelsea fans, etc. But these wonderful people have understood it's far better to be chosen than to choose, born, not manufactured. A lot of these people have made the pilgrimage to our grand old lady. And what's more, what I find really special about these guys is that on their Saturdays and Sundays, as early as 4 o'clock in the morning, they're getting up and coming down to the Fox and the Hounds on Ventura Boulevard to support and participate in our beautiful club, the greatest club, Everton football. So hello to our friends Noah, Edgar, Lauren, Michael, Daniel, Georgie, just to name a few. I'm terrible with names, but I tried to remember everyone that I met. We got together for these last two matches. And so without further ado, let's get on to the transfer window business.
So then, Carl, I'm going to list down our 12 outs that we lost this summer. And I'll give you a quick little opinion on what I think, and then I will ask you your thoughts, mate. So, out the door this year, saw a window of 25. Neil Mopai, absolute fucking scumbag, absolutely made up, he's gone. He can't go far enough away. If he could send the cunt to Mars, I'd be all over it. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, a loss in the striker department, but I don't think his heart was in it. He'd had that contract on the table forever, refused to sign it. He wanted to go to a quote-unquote bigger club. Man United, Newcastle. I'm not sure about a bigger club there, but, he was touting around a few places that he wanted to go. Those moves didn't materialise. He ended up leaving. Doesn't want to play for the club. Good riddance. Abdoulaye Doucouré. I think his time at Everton was up. I do thank him for the goals that he scored. He scored some vital goals, and I think it's more a case of like the legs as to the heart and the brain going with Doucouré. But good luck to him. The Invisible Man, Mason Holgate, is officially off the books. I don't know where he's been the last couple of years. He's been out on loan here, there, and everywhere. No biggie. Yao Virginia, backup goalie. Joe, I always liked this kid. I think he done solid when he appeared between the sticks. But we've got Geordie. Geordie's never ever, touch wood, injured. So goalies at Everton don't really get a chance as like backups. But he was solid in my book. 39-year-old, I think he's now 40. Ashley Young left us. Youngie, over the years, I'll be honest, I've given him some shit. I've give the manager grief for playing like a fucking 39-year-old. But I mean, the guy's like a model pro, keeps himself in good nick, and I think he's playing at Ipswich now. So best of luck to him. Asmir Begovic, another one, backup goalie. He was a solid pair of hands. Didn't make that many appearances for the club. His wife was fucking boss. I think when he signed, she went all over Twitter with the horses and all that, giving Everton the big one. So big up there to Mrs. Begovic. Youssef Chimiti left us yesterday. I think an £8 to £10 million deal to Glasgow Rangers. A strange decision, I thought. I thought he'd always go out on loan, but at the same time, the way it's transpired now, we've only really got Beto and Thierry Barry left. In Moyes we trust, I guess, on that one. Billy Krellin, I think he was like the third choice goalie. journeyman goalie. Don't think he ever actually got a game. He's been released. Best of luck to him. He's a blue. And then 3 loans. Harrison Armstrong went out. Tyler Odeyango went out, and young Isaac Heath also. These boys are going to get some time out, and I don't think done Jared Branthwaite any harm when he went, and like a few other players who went out on loan. So hopefully we'll get them back next year, and they'll be better for the experience. Carl, give me your thoughts.
Yes, I'll start off with the loan players first. I think it's brilliant for Harrison Armstrong, only for the fact, like Mark, he said in the past on various podcasts, he wants us to get in the team. But I don't think he'd play that much, especially looking at the midfield that we've got at the minute and the players that we've just signed as well. I don't think he'd get in as he needs to keep playing and playing a lot and for his development more than anything. Sitting on our benches getting splinters in his arse is no good for no one. So I'm really happy with that. He's going to an up-and-coming team in Preston. I think he'll do well there, and it's there for the season. And I'm sure there's probably some sort of break clause in January, because I think our issue might be the African Nations, which starts in December. We're going to lose Ghana and the likes, and possibly better. I don't know about whether they've qualified or not. So we certainly lose Ghana and the likes. So we might get him back in January. Onyango, I think he's in the last year of his deal anyway. So I don't think you'll see him come back. I think it's a loan for a year, but then his contract's up, so he might end up signing permanently there. And Isaac Heath, he's the captain of the under-21s. I think he was. He got Player of the Year, I think, last year. I think he's good. He's going to be a good player going forward. But is going to Atkinson Stanley the right level? Or should he be aiming a bit higher? Is he as good as what we think he might be going forward? You'd think that bigger clubs might have wanted to try and take a chance on him. But it's good to see them go out on loan. If regards to like Joe Virginia, I would have kept in. Decent, as you say, decent backup goalie. No worse than what Travers. I know we paid a few million for Travers, but no worse than him. I don't know why we got Tom King as a third goalie. So that's just bizarre. When we've got young goalies who are highly rated coming through. Who else? The core I would have kept. Hit and miss. He couldn't pass the balls for love nor money, but he got important goals, which is always good. That goal against Bournemouth, I'll never forget. Kip thought we were going down at one point and he bangs that, blasted him. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, when he had his time, he came, he wanted more money. He thought the grass was greener, as you said. I want Champions League, I want this, I want that. Ends up sitting on Leeds' bench, coming on, playing a cup game, missing a sky and a penalty, and missing loads of sitters, just like we remember him. So I'm sure they can enjoy it just as much as the rest of it. I think the rest are much of a muchness. Got rid of players that we didn't really need. And when we talk about the ins, you'll see the upgrades that we've had in most departments. It does worry me the fact that we've only got 2 strikers now with Chimity going. But maybe he thinks Ndai can play up there temporarily. He's another player we're going to lose to the African Nations, of course, as well. So I just hope if we are going to get any injuries, they're not going to be around December, January, which is when there's a lot of games, because that will really screw us.
Okay, mate. Nice one. I agreed with most of the points with you there. No arguments. Let's hear Mark's little soundbite from Los Angeles and see what he thinks.
Okay, on to the transfer window now. Neil Maupay, what needs to be said? This guy was a wind-up merchant, and he didn't differentiate between the other team's fans and our fans. He seemed to fight with us more than he fought with anybody else. We paid him to do absolutely nothing. I think he scored 1 goal for us. You correct me if I'm wrong. But, good riddance. As someone who's a Francophile, I was a little bit disappointed. I think he made French people kind of look bad, and he definitely made Everton look bad. So, no loss there. Goodbye, Neil. Ashley Young had a fairly storied career. Was great at his position. Got away with a possible red card against the Shite. But he was 38, 39, maybe 40 years old this season, and it was time for him to move on. considering the problems of the club, both with the money and the players that we were getting for the money. He just wasn't part of our future. I don't know if he's part of any club's future, considering his age, but I wish Ashley well. Mason Holgate, I don't remember Mason Holgate getting a whole lot of minutes. I think he's still fairly young. Wish him well. Apparently, both this coach and the last coach didn't feel that he was a part of our future, so good luck to Mason. He's gone. Joe Virginia, I thought, did a great job as a backup goaltender. I'm not sure what the circumstances were with his contract or why we felt the need to move him. Perhaps it was age, perhaps it was money. I couldn't tell you, but Joe did a great job. Same for Asmir Begovic. I don't remember him getting any minutes, but I remember him being very highly thought of in the dressing room. Brought a calming presence. I believe he's a Bosnian. I'm not sure where he went off to, but he's replaceable, and that's what we did. Abdoulaye Doucouré. Dukes came up with some huge goals for us, but unfortunately he wanted huge money, and he wasn't worth the huge money. He also came up with some huge red cards. So, a wind-up merchant as well. Great for stirring the pot against the Shite in that last derby. I'll thank him forever for scoring that goal against, I believe it was Southampton or Bournemouth at the end of the season 2 seasons ago that kept us up. Love him for it, but he just wasn't a part of our future. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, this one kind of hurts. I know everyone likes to send pictures of old Dominic around wearing high heels, and, you know, he missed a sitter, and he missed a pen, and missed this and missed that. But for 3 years, Dominic was 31% of our offense. He was also the number 2 striker for the English team, which is always a solid squad. And I got to say, I wish Dominic nothing but the best, and I'm sorry that it didn't work out. He wanted more money than what he was worth, considering the performance of the last few years, and we had to move on from him. I'll be following him secretly to see how he does at Leeds. I know he had a rough game last week, missing a couple of opportunities, but when he's with us, he just didn't get the service that he needed. So I don't know that his potential could have been reached with us. We just didn't have the surrounding players and the strategy to help him. Dyche parked the bus, and we got maybe 1 or 2 chances a game, and that's just not the type of game that Dominic Calvert-Lewin is going to shine in. I can't tell you anything about Billy Creelan. In fact, when I started to make this blurb for our show, it's the first time I've ever heard of him. So I can't tell you anything about old Billy. I wish him all the best. Jack Harrison, I know he's not a transfer out. I know we had him on loan, but he was here the last 2 years, I believe, and now he's gone. And I don't know that was good business. I thought Jack would have been a good player to buy. I think he's young. He showed a lot of promise. He's traveled extensively in his career playing in the United States in both college and the MLS. And he loved playing for our club, and I think his folks liked having him there. Anytime he scored, it was a real big to-do, and you could see clearly by his behavior that he was happy to be on our team, and I think he was skilled enough, just maybe not quite there yet, and we decided he just wasn't part of our future plans. So that rounds up the departures. You guys will have to let me know if I missed anyone. I think that sums it up.
Okay, guys, with that done, let's go to a half-time break and a quick word from our sponsors, the amazing Andy's Man Club. Life is hard, and we all have bad days. There are times when we feel we can't cope. This is the time we need to reach out and talk to someone. Andy's Man Club offers local support groups nationwide, running every Monday from 7 p.m, except on bank holidays. In these groups, men can open up about the issues affecting their lives in a safe, non-judgmental environment. Our clubs are designed to be free of pressure. There is no obligation for men to speak, they can simply listen if they wish. Find us today at www.andysmanclub.co.uk. Help one guy, save one life. Andy's Man Club. It's good to talk. Welcome back, guys. Andy's Man Club, it's good to talk. Okay, so let's talk about the ins. Okay, so for me, Garner, Guy and Michael Keane, they signed 1 year deals to come back. Keane, I wasn't fussed about at the time, but you know, in hindsight, we do need the cover. He has played the first 3 games and whatever. No real problem. Garner, Guy, Idrissa was the one for me. He needed to sign. That needed to be the start of the summer, because I think for like the last 3 years he's had like the highest stats in his position and everything. The guy is fucking immortal, you know, even though I think he's 36 now. And of course, massive business that a lot of people are forgetting about. Jared Branthwaite's 5-year deal at the beginning of the window. That was immense, because again, these fucking vultures are going to come calling. They are, but he's going to be our player for like the next 5 years. We've seen stuff in the window with certain individuals going to certain shite clubs, you know, demanding their own way, so be it and whatever, but he's our player for 5 years. So the likes of your Manx and all that, you can go fuck yourselves now. Let's get down to business. Charlie Alcaraz signed for 2 years after a successful loan spell. I'm good with this. I like Charlie. He's got a shot in him. He's tricky. He's got that little bit of a niggle about him, which is like what I like as well. Solid signing. Thierry Barry, French under-21 forward. I watched a little bit of him in the Euros and that. I was impressed. Kid knows where to get like in the box and stuff like that. It's been said he's a little bit raw, and I would agree with that. But I think there's a player in there. I was really happy to see Thierry get over the line. Goalkeeper Mark Travers. We needed the backup with Yao and with Asmir Begovic going, and Billy Krellin, who was like neither here nor there. But he played in the States and he didn't look too solid to me, but every keeper's got a mistake in him, and I'd rather it happen in pre-season than in the Prem or in like a quarter-final of a cup or something. But, you know, we needed the backup keeper. He's solid in my eyes. Adam Asnu, left back. I know very little about. We had the injury with Miko, obviously, so we did need cover. Is he one for the future? I think he's a utility man. I think he can play a couple of positions if memory serves me right. But a solid signing, like Carl had touched on earlier on in the show, covering some of the bases that we actually need to cover. Keenan Dewsbury Hall, KDH. Oh my God, I love this kid. Coming under the radar. We knew a little bit about him from his time in the Prem with Chelsea and stuff. Their loss, our gain, £25 million, daylight robbery. I really like this kid. One of the top signings of the window for me. Another goalie, Tom King, you know, replaces Billy Krell, I suppose. Another body. And then let's get into it, shall we? The on-off little love affair of the summer. Young Tyler Dibbling finally arrived from Southampton. How much player power was in there or not, I don't know. You know, he'd been left out the side and they were trying to integrate him. Everton went back. We battered ball with Southampton, who I'm not going to have a go at, by the way, because I think Southampton are one, like Brighton, they're one of a nice little club. So we've done a little bit of business with them over the years and all that. But the main thing is, for Evertonians, of course, is that Tyler Dibbling is now a blue. Jack Grealish, or Jackie fucking G, as I always call him on this show, on loan for the season with an option to buy. Let's just buy him, shall we? 4 assists, I think, in the first couple of games. He's a fucking Rolls Royce. You know, I'm getting tingles talking about him. He's something that we haven't had for so long at Everton. And just to see him run and do them little things, them little flicks, and a couple of like the assists he's had, he's just played pixel perfect balls, just the right weight and everything, and little through balls and all my. Joe, I'm going to move on because I'm just going to wax lyrical about Jackie G all night. And yesterday's deadline signing, the man with the amazing name, the magic name you might call him, Merlin Roll, German under-21 international midfielder. I've seen someone liking him today on Facebook to a cross between Duncan Ferguson and Marouane Fellaini. If he's as good as either of them, he's going to be a decent signing. I'll be honest with you, I know very little about him. Carl and Marco have put videos up on him on our little group chat and stuff like that, and I've seen little bits. But hopefully this one's going to work out. I think there's an obligation to buy in there. Carl, I've waxed on quite literally for quite a while over it now, mate. Give us your thoughts on all our incomings, if you will.
Right, we'll start off with Merlin Roll, as you say, the wizard, the magician. I've seen it all on X since he signed yesterday. He looks phenomenal. The kid, and he can play in like 3 or 4 different positions, even CDM. That, you know, he might end up working back there at some point in his career if he's with Everton long term. But going forward, he's a box-to-box player. He can dribble, he can shoot. Where he's fit in that midfield, I don't know. But as we said earlier on, with African nations and stuff like that, and you can't always play. You can't play the 11 players that you like to play. You know, every game of the season, you've got to take them out and give them rest and stuff like that. So, absolutely brilliant signing yesterday. Although I think yesterday as a whole was a bit of a damp squid, because it was like, oh, we're going to get 2 or 3 in, and there was like lots of rumours to right backs, and that never happened and stuff like that. But I'm really happy with Roll. KDH, who I thought was going to be our signing of the summer when we got him, as you said earlier, 25 million bargain from Chelsea. I mean, we knew Moyes liked him because we've been linked with him for a few transfer windows and never actually, because of our finances under Mashiri, never been able to bite the bullet and pay what Chelsea wanted at the time. I think Chelsea was a bad move for him. He was only there a year. But are you going to turn down Chelsea on the mega bucks? You know, when you're at Leicester City, you're not going to turn it down, are you? So I thought he was he's been a brilliant sign, a breath of fresh air. And even the Wolves game on Saturday, he took his goal brilliantly. He was certainly one of the men of the matches, if not the man of the match, on Saturday against Wolves. So brilliant sign there. Mark Travers, I should say, second string goalie, could come in as a backup, but we all know Jordan. He's the man. He's like Commander. He's Rambo, isn't he? He doesn't get injured. So, no, unless you're taking him off to protect him, then he's not going to. Travers is not going to play. Might play the odd cup game, but let's face it. If we get to the quarters or semi-finals, Jordan's going to be straight back in, isn't he? So he's at much of a muchness again. Tom King, he's probably very, very rarely you're going to see him even on the bench. Because I'm hoping we're getting away now from having 2 goalies on the bench, which everybody used to get pissed off about every time you'd see a team sheet and you'd see 2 goalies. Why you couldn't put a young kid? Even like, there's a young kid coming through there. He's only like 17, 18, Braden Graham. Stick him on the bench. You're not going to bring a second string goalie on. So why not put him on the bench just for the atmosphere? I'm sure he'd get a buzzer out of it. You know, and hopefully help him in the under-21s. Who else?
Yeah, I'll run down the list for you. Garner and Keane with their year deals. Branthwaite with his 5-year deal. Charlie Alcaraz, Thierry Barry, Adam Asnu, Tyler Dibbling, and Jack Grealish were the ones I think you mentioned.
How the fuck I missed that bit, Jackie G. He's been a phenomenal star. He's like, he plays the game in slow motion. When you watch him, he's like, every pass that he makes or every touch is deliberate. It's like, the rest of them are just like in slow mo, and he just like walks around them as if they're not there. So, absolutely amazing. As you said earlier on, so stick 50 million down now and bang, because it's a bargain. And if he can get us up into the Champions League, it pays for itself. Or even into Europe, it'll pay for itself. So, that's 100% no-brainer. And if we don't sign him, someone wants to crack it. Tyler Dibbling again. I mean, last year, he was linked with United for 100 million. And we're getting him for what, 35 million plus add-ons? Bargain. I hope he plays more, but you'll see him coming in and out. I suppose with the way the setup is at the minute, it's hard to take him die out. He's playing on the right, Grealish is on the left, and KDH in the centre maybe. And they're all intertwined with each other, so it's hard to see where he's going to get a lot of minutes, maybe in the cups if we progress and stuff. And gradually bring him up from there. Thierry Barry, as you said earlier, he's a young French striker, brand new to this league. So I think given time, his positional play seems to be really, really good. All he needs now is that one goal, and I think he'll just take off. When you look at Beto, he was a bit poor early on. He got his goal, and then he scored another one again at the weekend. He's on a bit of a run. So I think once Barry gets settled, the same thing will happen with him. The Branthwaite 5-year deal, that's a no-brainer now. The ball's now in Everton's court. If United or City or somebody else wants to buy him now, they get 100 million. It's Everton's price. No, not them, but 40 million. And we can sell him or keep him. He's bounded by a contract. I'm not saying they'd hold him to the contract, a bit like that I shite with Isak. He's still had 3 years to go. They could have said to him, listen to your ball bag. You're sitting in the reserves, which, you wouldn't put it against some clubs, but it's up to Everton. They've got the power now, which is absolutely fantastic. And can't wait for him to come back. Hopefully just after the international break, he'll be back in the fold and that'll be that. As regards to the likes of the others that we got, Alcaraz, he's a player. Great to have on the bench, strengthens the bench. Bring him on 60 minutes. Players are tired from the opposition and stuff. And, he can create so much stuff that, he's brilliant. He's got that, laser shot on him as well. At times, he can find the pass. And overall, when you think about our whole transfer window, it's been a complete upgrade from what we had like at the end of last season. I know we were still missing a very pacey right winger, a CDM, to obviously to replace Garner, because he's got a year, as you say, and then it's an option of another year depending on how well he's doing. So hopefully he'll still be in nick for that. We definitely need a right back. But as you said, O'Brien's solid. Although he hasn't got the pace to bomb down the line for the next 4 months until January or even until next summer. It's a stopgap and we'll be fine. We won't have an issue, I don't think, there. As new, I think, as you say, he's a young player coming here and there in cup games. It was unfortunate, really, because I think he might have come on in the last couple of games before Mikalenko came back, but he got injured. So he's obviously, that's not good that he's suffering injuries as a young player. But hopefully he can get over them quickly. And then he can just get the last 10 minutes, quarter an hour, build him up. And then he'll be a great replacement for Mikalenko.
All fantastic points, mate. Thank you very much. And for the last time today, let's go over to Los Angeles via WhatsApp sounds and hear Mark's opinion.
Okay, so on to the additions. Unless you've been living under a rock, you know that we've got Jackie G, Jack Grealish, coming over from Man City on loan. I think we got a bargain, and I think we should take the option to buy. I know some would say, it's a little early to say that, but I don't think so. He's got 3 assists, or maybe it's 4 assists in 3 games now. He has been absolutely instrumental. Clearly they were wasting him at City. I don't know why, but what a fantastic player. And I got to say, aside from his skills, you can see that he's brought confidence to the team. We are no longer playing not to lose. We're actually playing to win, which is quite refreshing. You see the way this guy interacts with the fans, with his teammates, and he's quite professional even with the opposition. When a couple players end up on the pitch, he's always he's sweet. He's a sweet man. He doesn't let the heat of the competition ruin his attitude. I love it. I bet he's a hell of a guy to sit down with over a beer and discuss whatever. Just a pleasant, lovely lad, and I'm glad he's a part of our squad moving forward. I hope we take the option to buy it. This was good business. He's going to change the results at Everton this season and hopefully more seasons to come. Tiano Berry, this guy holds the ball up very, very well. He's quietly improving, getting more confident. I think he needs to do more with time and space instead of deferring to other players. He doesn't seem to have that taste for meat when there's blood in the water, like a shark. You see where he's got a path to the box, and he'll send it to the middle or maybe send it to the other side. Clearly skilled, clearly a physical specimen, but I don't know if the mentality is there yet. But he's good enough to play to start in our squad, and I'll think he'll get better. KDH, wow, this guy's made quite an impact. He's got a great first touch. He's got a huge heat map. If you see his heat map on SofaSport, he's all over the pitch. He had a beautiful goal that went off the crossbar the other night. It was a one-touch volley that I believe was set up by Jack Grealish. And it was just a wonderful transition game. This was good business. I'm super happy to have KDH, and I think he's got a big future with us. Tyler Dibbling has been referred to by one of his prior coaches as the most talented player that he's ever seen. Now, it remains to be seen with us. He hasn't gotten too many minutes yet, but he's also got a great first touch. He seems to slide through opponents with just daft, silky feet, cunning moves. Hard to tell what kind of pace he has, but the kid could handle a ball in a phone booth. Love to see it. I hope he gets more minutes. Mark Travers, let's see how it goes. I was at the Chicago match this past summer, as you guys know. Didn't have a great showing against West Ham United. Wasn't entirely his fault. You know, he jumped up to punch that ball out and got undercut by, I think it was Mikolenko, and wasn't able to make the play. But he has shined in other competitions, so I think there's a lot of potential there. I think he'll do every bit as good as João Virginia when he got minutes, but it's hard to see what's going to happen when you're playing behind the England number one, our great and wonderful Jordan Pickford. So we'll see what happens there, but I think it was good business to bring on Mark. Young kid, room for development, of course, but I think the talent's there. Charlie Alcaraz, versatile, happy with his role. He's great to start. He's great to come off the bench. Fantastic right foot. Sees the field very well. And how about that one-timer that he bent in the other night? What a great goal. Wow. And he's also happy to be here. It sounds like it looks to me, fellas, like all our new players, they're just happy to be here. It's such a different aura that we have this year in compared to the last few seasons. It's like we know what we can do, and we're seeking to do it. And again, we're playing to win instead of not playing to lose. The guy that I really wanted to talk about today is this Merlin Roll. I don't think this guy is getting talked about enough. He's big. He's a bully. He's not afraid to barge. He's not afraid to take shots from distance. He's not afraid to throw his weight around. He's aggressive. I think he's 6'5". He's got great pace. And he's been doing quite well in the German league. Happy to have him. I hope he gets minutes this week. At least coming off the bench. I think we're going to see big things from this kid. After seeing what I've seen with this transfer window, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm predicting a top 8 finish. I won't say that I'll eat my hat if we don't, but I don't think anyone can say that it's outside the scope of reality that we could easily achieve that. So let's see what happens. We'll revisit this. I don't have anything but good things to say about our transfers in. David Moyes is a very steady hand at the wheel, and I think we're in good hands. I feel great. This is not a relegation season. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on the transfers. Back to you guys on the Mersey side. I'll be out here in Los Angeles until further notice, waiting on my ship, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Thanks, boys.
Okay, guys, so that is Carl's opinions, my opinions, and Mark's opinions on what was an interesting transfer window. Like Carl touched upon there, it is the international break, so I think our next game's in about 10 days against Aston Villa. We will be back to cover that one. Carl, it's been a pleasure, mate.
Yeah, it is, mate. As always, 8 out of 10 for the transfer window, I'd give it anyway. I'd say not quite perfect, but almost.
Yeah, solid 8 for me, mate. And obviously, in his absence, I want to thank Mark for taking the time to do little sound bites for us from Los Angeles, and hopefully he'll be appearing on the show again live soon. Carl, do you want to see us out?
Up the fucking Toffees!